The Kensei is a skilled and disciplined warrior who has been corrupted and driven down a dark path. As always, if you enjoy these builds, then make sure that you are subscribed to the channel in order to keep receiving them, and also share the video around if you enjoy it. I want as many people as possible to be able to find these videos, and every like, comment and share helps that to happen. The Kensei was raised in Akavir, disciplined and trained to defend against evil. He spent a century mastering the Nadachi and learning how to move seamlessly, even in the heaviest of armour, his actions swift and precise, every motion having dedicated purpose and flowing together in an artwork of movement. After he is trained in the temple in which he was raised, he is then told that he must travel the world and spread a life of balance to all of Nirn. His pilgrimage grants him much success, helping others and showing that a peaceful life with real meaning can be achieved, even by warriors. At the end of his journey, he makes his way back to the temple in which he was raised, and was greeted by flames and smoke rising to engulf the blood-tinted moon. The Kensei rushes up the stairs to try and save whoever he can, desperately hoping that anyone inside was able to flee a safe distance. Instead, he discovered the charred corpses of the monks, their lifeless forms sat peacefully in meditation, starkly contrasting the devastating fire consuming all around them. The Kensei is forced to wait for the fire to die down, having consumed his temple and left a mountain of ashes atop a hill, waiting for the winds to blow them away. He attempts to meditate in order to calm his heart and clear his mind, but can't ignore the smell of cooked flesh and the taste of death in the air. Despite his lessons of peace and balance in all things, he feels a strong rage growing inside of him, telling him to hunt down those who decided to destroy his home. Days are spent in an internal struggle, the Kensei battling his demons, but eventually succumbing to the desire to punish those who destroyed something that posed them no harm. He begins pursuing leads to find out who had burnt down the temple, and why such a thing had taken place. He finds rumours in Cyrodiil that point towards the northern lands of Skyrim, setting him down a path where he will face the greatest challenges of his life, both physically and spiritually. The main skills of this build are two-handed and heavy armour. The Kensei is a master of greatswords, and they offer a great mix of speed and damage. You'll want to invest in every single perk other than those focused on axes and warhammers in order to maximise your damage output and add some variety to your power attacks. Heavy armour will offer you plenty of protection against physical attacks, but does weigh a lot and slow you down. For this reason, I highly recommend getting the conditioning perk, which will help with stamina management and makes the character feel faster despite the cumbersome armour. The additional skills are block, archery and enchanting. Block ties into the combat mastery and just how important blocking is within For Honor. You don't have a shield, so most of the perks won't offer any additional help, but you can go for quick reflexes if you want to make things a little easier on yourself. I decided to include archery in this build to represent the longbow feat that the Kensei class has available to them. Although added for roleplaying, this still is a great skill to have, as it gives the build some range, and it gives you an alternative way to deal damage. Prioritise using your sword in engagements, but feel free to use your bow as an opener or to finish off weak enemies. Last of all is enchanting. This is the skill that really escalates the power of the build. At this point I should mention that the footage for this video is all on the legendary difficulty setting, and enchanting goes a long way to make this viable. Prioritise the Fortify two-handed enchantment to make every swing of your sword deadly, but I'd also recommend Fortify Health and Fortify Archery. The standing stone I would recommend for this build would be the Lord Stone. It's a simple one which just makes you tougher, helping to keep you alive in fights, and it really helps out when fighting powerful enemies on higher difficulties. Before you have the conditioning perk from the heavy armour skill tree, then you may instead wish to go for the Steed Stone, in order to reduce the penalties from wearing heavy armour. There are no specific powers I recommend for this character, so feel free to use your own personal favourites. Let me know in the comments below what powers you are intending on using, and which ones are your favourites. The main weapon of this build is the Ebony Blade. This is a weapon of pure evil, and you can either decide that the Kensei has given in to his demons by the time he learns of the sword, or that he decides to use something evil for a good purpose. The reason I went with the ebony blade is that it bears the closest resemblance to the Nodachi, the weapon of choice of the Kensei in For Honor. This is still a great weapon though, as it has an absorb health enchantment that doesn't run out, making it excel at keeping you in the fight. The additional weapon of this build is an ebony bow. I chose this purely to suit the overall aesthetic, so don't feel you have to use an ebony bow if you don't wish to. I also felt that dwarven arrows look the best overall, as the precise hard lines of the quiver and fletchings look the most like their Japanese counterparts. For armour, you will wear a full set of Blades armour. As with the weapons, this was chosen to fit the aesthetic of the Kensei class. This suit of armour also offers decent protection, and none of the pieces are enchanted, so you can put your own enchantments on them. In addition, you want to wear a ring and necklace, simply to add to the amount of enchantments you have available to you. The only essential faction for this character to join is the Blades. They will provide you with your armour and let you hunt down dragons, a physical manifestation of the memory of the fire that burnt down your home. I will leave any and all other faction choices up to you, but you will have to decide how far the Kensei has turned from his original path. If he is still resisting his demons, then side with good factions such as the Dawn Guard, but if he succumbed to them, then you could even join the Dark Brotherhood, displaying just how far the Kensei has fallen. When playing as this character, you can either travel with a member of the Blades or on your own. Obviously, having a follower with you can be quite helpful for turning a fight in your favour, but they can also get in the way. With the ebony blade as your main weapon, there is a half decent chance you'll accidentally kill them at some point too. On the bright side, if you do, then your sword will get stronger, so it's not all bad. The Kensei is an incredibly fast warrior. Focus on timing your attacks to immobilise your enemy and counter their moves. Although a two-handed warrior doesn't appeal to many people as that varied of a playstyle, it can be a challenging and interesting one if playing on a higher difficulty than you are used to, and by watching your enemies and focusing on countering their moves. If they are readying a power attack, sweep in with a fast attack and go to the side of the enemy. If they are focused on blocking, then stagger them with power attacks or bashes, and if you become outnumbered, use terrain to your advantage to even out the numbers back to a 1 versus 1. For role-playing, there's a lot of option with the character. I purposefully left the character between good and evil, as I want you to play through as you see fit. Either be a noble warrior that takes the good path to fight against his demons and sticks to the teachings of the monks, or slaughter all those you deem unworthy, and succumb to the rage inside of you. Personally, I would recommend starting out as a good warrior, and slowly over time turning further and further down the path of evil. This provides a good bit of role-playing to freshen up the game, and also allows you to play a huge array of different missions and faction quests, without sacrificing immersion. Thank you all very much for watching this latest Skyrim build, based off the Kensei class from For Honor. If you enjoyed the video, then please leave a like, comment down below, and make sure you subscribe to the channel if you want more builds in the future. I'm planning on making a Q&A video very soon, so if there are any questions you would like me to answer, then leave them down below, and I'll make sure to add them to the list for the video. If you're looking for something to watch right now, then check out the playlist section of my channel. Consider taking a look at my featured channels, or click on one of the videos on screen right now.